What's up guys, my name is Ace, and in Modern Warfare, many of the guns have some form of a conversion kit which completely changes how the gun performs. However, not all of these conversion kits are equal. So today I wanted to share what I consider to be the top 3 conversion kits to use in Modern Warfare. The main criteria I was looking at when choosing these top 3 is, does this conversion kit make it a better version than the base version of the gun? And the first one I don't think is going to be a surprise to anybody that's tried it. This is the Uzi with the 41 AE rounds. Now, for those of you guys that don't know, the Uzi, when the game first launched, it was clearly just the worst SMG. It was beat out in almost every way by all of the other SMGs, and there wasn't much reason to use it. However, it has been getting incremental buffs as the year has gone on, and I would say in its current state, the base Uzi is somewhat decent, but still not a top tier SMG by any means. However, when you put those 41 AE rounds on, it actually becomes an upper tier SMG for both multiplayer as well as Warzone. And there are still a lot of people that haven't caught on to this and haven't given it a go just because the Uzi had such a bad name for itself when the game first launched. Well, let's look at the comparison here between the base Uzi and the 41 AE rounds and start it off with our ranges and time to kill values built in here. And you can see our initial guaranteed 3-shot kill range is better with the 41 AE rounds, and it technically fires just a tiny bit faster than the base, but it is a negligible difference. So 194 milliseconds versus 196 milliseconds, it's completely negligible in game. However, the really interesting part here is if you're hitting upper torso shots, you can extend that 3-shot kill range all the way to about 30 meters, which is an extremely long range for an SMG. This is by far the longest 3-shot kill potential that you can get with a full auto SMG in this game. But then after that, you can see a couple other damage drop-offs where it's a guaranteed 4-shot kill anywhere in the body, and then a 4-shot kill with upper torso shots that extends all the way out to about 42 meters or so. And that is just insane for an SMG. You normally wouldn't be challenging anybody beyond about 30 meters with an SMG, but with these 41 AE rounds, you absolutely can, and you get a very solid time to kill. So not only is it really good up close, it really maintains that power out to a very long range for SMGs. Now, something important to be aware of with the 41 AE rounds though is it's not all upsides. You do get quite a bit more vertical recoil with this, and if we have a look at the side-by-side here, you can definitely see that it's got a much higher magnitude of recoil than the base. However, that side-to-side bounce, which is the recoil that's really hard to control and predict, that's about the same as the base recoil pattern. So as long as you're good at controlling that vertical recoil, which isn't too difficult, you can keep the 41 AE rounds basically as accurate as the base Uzi. And this is why I highly recommend this conversion kit. It is an excellent choice, like I said, for multiplayer as well as Warzone. It performs quite well against armor, at least within that 3-shot kill range. To top all of this off with the Uzi, I just wanted to remind you that stopping power rounds are bugged out with the Uzi still, and with most guns, stopping power rounds increase recoil. Not with the Uzi. It actually significantly decreases your recoil, which makes no sense, and this still applies to the 41 AE rounds. So especially if we're looking at Warzone, if you've got an Uzi with you and you find some stopping power rounds, you will be completely untouchable for a couple gunfights, and you'll be even more accurate with those stopping power rounds equipped. But that covers it for the first conversion kit that I really enjoy in Modern Warfare, and it's absolutely in my top 3. Now it's time to move on to the next one, and this is yet another SMG. This is the Striker 45 hollow point rounds. Now, unlike the previous one, which basically just changes up your damage and your ranges, the Striker 45 hollow point rounds completely change the performance of the gun. It turns it from a full auto to a 2-round burst. And with this, it also significantly increases the amount of damage that you're dealing per shot, and it even allows you to get a 2-shot kill to the upper torso. So let's once again have a look at our range and time to kill comparison here. With the base Striker 45, it's a minimum of a 3-shot kill, and it's got a very solid 3-shot kill range, but a fairly slow rate of fire at the same time. Whereas with the hollow point rounds, you can see there our 2-shot kill potential, so 1 burst potential, extends all the way to 25 meters. And with this, our time to kill is incredibly fast. There are very few things that aren't a 1-shot kill weapon that can compete with this gun, assuming you're getting that 1 burst kill. And that's also a really solid range for that as well. So if you're precise with your shots and you are able to consistently hit that upper torso, you are going to be absolutely dominant with the Striker 45. But just continuing on here, our 3-shot kill range, assuming you're hitting upper torso, that extends out to about 35 meters. And then beyond that, it's going to be a 4-shot kill to the upper torso, or like 2 burst kill to the upper torso, or if you aren't hitting upper torso shots, it'll take you 5 shots to kill at that range. So you can really see in the range and time to kill department, it's a huge improvement over the base Striker 45. And this brings us into the recoil comparison again. Keep in mind with this comparison, I decided to only fire 12 rounds with the base Striker 45, even though the magazine is much larger. That way we can see sort of an apples to apples comparison here, 12 rounds versus 12 rounds. And you can see here that not only do you get more damage and more range, you're also getting a significant improvement to your accuracy. There is very little recoil with the hollow point rounds on the Striker 45. And that's just another reason to be using this over the base Striker 45. But of course, there's a big downside here, which you're probably already aware of. The maximum magazine capacity with the Striker 45 hollow point rounds is just 12 rounds, or 6 bursts. Which, in a regular face-to-face gunfight, that's no problem. But if you start challenging 2, 3, or 4 enemies in a row without having time to reload in between, you can definitely run into a little bit of trouble. Additionally, in Warzone, it's incredible at taking down a single enemy in close quarters. There are very few things that can deal with armor and take people out this quickly up close, assuming you're hitting the upper torso or headshots, of course. However, the moment you start dealing with multiple enemies, or if you're a little bit sloppy with your aim, you're definitely going to run into some problems when it comes to magazine capacity. So at the end of the day, it is a bit more of a niche weapon than the regular full auto striker, but it does have a lot of potential power for people that are very precise with their shots. Now, moving into the final conversion that I wanted to have a look at here that I consider to be one of the best. This is with the AK-47 with the 5.45 by 39 rounds. Now with this, it kind of turns the AK into an SMG. It's pretty much like an AK-74U. And again, we'll have the same format here and start it off with range and time to kill. And with this, it's not necessarily better in the range department compared to the base AK. You can see with the base AK, as long as you're hitting upper torso shots, you've always got that guaranteed 3-shot kill potential in core game modes, which is nice if you can hit those upper torso shots at longer ranges. The true benefit to using this conversion, though, is in the time to kill potential up close. We get a very solid time to kill potential of 174 milliseconds, which is noticeably faster than the base AK. And also with this, we have that increased fire rate, which means the gun is also more forgiving. So if you happen to miss a shot or two, it's not as big of a deal with this conversion as it would be with the base AK. So while it doesn't necessarily shine in the range department, it is going to be killing noticeably faster up close, so it does partially depend on your preference and playstyle. For me personally, I like being a bit more aggressive and up close and personal, so that's why I prefer this conversion, but there's another reason for that, and this is recoil. So having a look at the base AK, after the first few shots, we always get a big jump in the recoil, and this big jump is where it often can screw you up, and this big jump often comes at the most important part of a gunfight as well. So I really am not a huge fan of the recoil, even though I can control it reasonably well. It still does throw me off from time to time, whereas with the conversion, you can see here that there isn't as much of a jump between shots. It's a lot more consistent as it kicks upwards. And overall, the magnitude is pretty much exactly the same between these. So if I had to choose, just going off of recoil here, I would actually rather have the 5.45 by 39 rounds equipped here, especially considering we have a faster fire rate, like I said. So if you get a faster fire rate with even better recoil, that makes the gun feel a whole lot better, to me at least. And that's why if I am using an AK-47, I often prefer this conversion. But with that, that's going to wrap it up for what I consider to be the top 3 conversion kits to use currently in Modern Warfare. Of course, these are just my opinions. I'd like to hear in the comment section below, out of all of the conversion kits that are available in the game, which ones do you think are best? Which ones do you think have the biggest improvement from the base version of the gun? Just let me know those thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.